What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this video we are going to be doing the last tier list for the month of September. You better believe on the 1st of October we're back making more position ones. But this is going to be the Ruby tier list. So we're going to be only looking at Ruby cards right here. Also, I'm not going to take into account if you put badges on cards. For example, there's probably a random card in here that you can put range on him and he becomes a beast. So I'm not entirely sure what cards can get which badges, and also they're just so expensive badges. I ranged up 3 of my players. It cost me 30. It cost me like 50k basically to range up 3 of my players. It is very, very expensive. But anyway, yeah. So what we are going to be doing right here is doing a tier list of the best rubies. Most of these cards you can either get from playing the game for grinding, or they are relatively cheap. So anyway, now we are going to get on to it. First up is Paul George. Paul George, S tier, I don't care. As far as Ruby cards go, he is one of my favorite. He's one of my top 40 overall cards in the game. And considering the fact that there's like 40 diamonds alone in this game, diamonds and pink diamonds, the fact that he's in that list as a Ruby is crazy. He is, in my opinion, probably a third best current player. My current players probably go Giannis, Steph, then maybe Paul George. He's in that conversation. He's one of the best. Release is really good, especially with the patch he can now shoot in TTO. Paul George is a player I am a huge, huge fan of in this game, and I think he is one of the best players I have used. Then we have got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's going C tier. He's fine. He is absolutely fine. I'm not going to say anything other than that. He will score. That's about it. It's not like he's going to be the greatest defender in the world. He's actually, in fact, going to be an awful defender. But he's got silver range. He can score a little bit. He can drive by people. And he's a silver quick first step as well. He's fine. Klay Thompson. Again, I'm not entirely sure if the Klay Thompson glitch has fixed. But he is... You know what? Just for how good he is in TTO right now, I'm putting Klay Thompson in S tier. Klay Thompson, that silver range, he can just hit everything in TTO. He is a really, really good card. So I'm going to put him up here into S tier. But again, a fantastic, fantastic card. Don't get me wrong, a fantastic card. So he is in that tier, as well as Paul George in S. Then we got Dame. Dame's in A in terms of rubies. Offensively, he's as good as anyone. He is almost as good as Steph offensively. I can say that right now. Both of them have silver range. I think he's as good as Steph. He doesn't quite have the leaner as Steph, but he's got that silver range extender. He's got that decent enough 3-ball. Also can dunk and slash the basketball. Unfortunately, not a good defender, but offensively, he's good enough that I'm going to have to put him into A tier. Then we have got Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, A tier. I really like Embiid. He's got moderately good speed. He's really good in the post. Shooting wise, he's quite good, especially now again with the patch, you can't paint sit on him. He's not going to be out here shooting 70-80% from 3, but he is going to be consistently shooting about that 40% from 3 mark when he's left wide open with that 75 rating. His release is pretty good. Yeah, Embiid is one of those cards that I really do like in game. I'm shocked that I like him because historically I have not liked the normal Embiid cards, but I do like this card. We got Jokic, C. Maybe he's not great. Karl Anthony Towns, B. Again, my whole thing is that the Embiid, Cat, and Jokic debate is Embiid first, Cat second, Jokic third. I actually don't mind Cat as much as I did. I don't know why I couldn't shoot him with the stick. The more I use Cat, the more I like him. But he's still not as good defensively as Embiid. And barely a better shooter. So, yeah, Cat's going B tier. Luka Doncic. He was okay pre-stick patch. But again, the stick... I keep talking about it like the stick patch didn't happen 3 weeks ago. If they do buff the stick up at any stage, Luka will be good, but his release is broken. I don't know what they did to Luka. They gave him basically to give him Page's release. He had one of the best releases in the game. I don't know what the hell they did to it. He can't hit a shot to save his life. He cannot hit a shot to save his life right now. His release is horrendous. His release is absolutely horrendous. But at the end of the day, look, it is what it is. He's an okay card. But I don't think Luka will be great this year unless they change his release back to last year's. Marc Gasol, B. He's got a weird release, especially with the button. If this was pre-stick patch, I would probably have had him again A or maybe even S tier. He's got a big player build. Release, again, I hate it with the button. I've used that Emerald Marcus All and I really liked it using the stick. I can't use it with the button. But yeah, he's just an upgraded version of Emerald. I've not used this card, I'm going to say that right now, but he is an upgraded version of the Emerald who I liked and don't like anymore. Lopez. Lopez is B, but the funny thing with Lopez is that he can actually move. It's really weird. He actually runs kind of fast, but he can't shoot. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. I don't know who this card's meant to be, but I don't think it's Brook Lopez, especially Milwaukee Bucks Brook Lopez. He should be a better shooter and not as fast as he is, but I don't know. He would be. I would much rather him shoot than be fast, to be honest, with the way I like to play. But at the same time, I don't play with centers, so I can't really say, but I can't really say he's bad because I don't know, he might be really good because, again, I use Draymond Green at center. I don't like to play centers. I use Draymond and I've sometimes used Giannis as my other center. So it is very, very rare that I actually play with someone that can play, that is an actual center, but here, look, it is what it is. Rondo's going A. I did not know, when I made my point guard tier list, I had Rondo low because I had him pre-Evo. But post-Evo, he's got silver clamps. Also a moderately good shooter. Not a great shooter, a moderately good shooter. He will hit wide open. He's very similar to Sleet or Mocheeks. If you hit wide open with him. I'll put him A for now because there's not that many great point guards that can play defense like he can. But he might go down. Larry Hughes, he's fine. He's fine. He does the job. Decent enough defender, decent enough shooter, decent enough at everything. He's fine. Kersey, another player that's fine. Dandridge, a little bit weaker, but still fine. There's no other way I can describe these guys. Like, they are okay, but they don't do anything well enough, especially like Bob Dandridge. Back in the day at 2K17, actually, I'm done with 2K17. If we're looking back at, like, say, 2K13, 2K14, back when every card was just based on their base card and rosters, the fact that Bob Dandridge could do everything, defend, shoot, dunk, he had decent speed, he could do everything on a moderately good level. It used to make him a key member of most of my teams. I used to call him Mr. Consistency because he was an all-around just great player, and while he didn't excel at anything, he was just great at everything. The problem was, or he was just good at everything. The problem is now is that we're in kind of a meta and a game of specialists, and he's not a specialist and not very good at anything. I still can't believe Bob Dandridge. I don't think Bob Dandridge has got over. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's got over a Ruby card. And funnily enough, from 2K14, 15, 16, his base card went down from an 88 to like an 83. It was hilarious. He went from like 88, the next year was 86, and the next year was 84, and next year was 83. He just kept going down his base card. Yeah, Kenyon Martin. I don't like Kenyon Martin. I've used him in one game. I don't like him. Herb Williams, worthless. Hot Rod, worthless. Let me think, is there any other worthless? Casey Jones, worthless. Casey Jones is so bad on offense that even though he's a great defensive player, I have to put him worthless. Give me Avery Johnson over Casey Jones. I'm just trying to see if there are any more just worthless players in here. I mean, Zebo's not far off. Walton's not far off. But no, I'm not gonna say any of these are these other ones are worthless. I'm not gonna say any of these are worthless. Danielle Marshall, B tier, good shooter. Does nothing else. Keith Van Horn, the same thing as Danielle Marshall. Reggie Williams, A tier. So I really like Reggie Williams. So he is a competent shooter, not a great shooter, a competent shooter. And the thing with Reggie Williams is that he's got silver clamps. And the thing that separates him with a lot of guys with clamps, he's got silver quick first step as well. So he can blow by people and dunk. And a pretty good shooting stats, good defender. He is overall one of the better two guards in the game. You know what? I'm putting him up here in S tier. All three of them two guys / small forwards, but they're really good. Like, if you had to go into a competitive setting, I think you can get away with using Clay, you can get away with using Paul George, and you can get away with using Williams. Maybe you can get away with Rondo or Lillard depending on how you structure your team, but you will not be running any of the other guys in the competitive setting, even in Unlimited. And these guys can all dominate in Unlimited as well, so I think these guys are clearly the best three. Then we got Marley. He's a sniper, man. He is an absolute sniper. I'm going to put him in A just because he's not just a shooter. He's a sniper. He's up there with the best shooters in the game. He is elite. He is absolutely elite when he's open. He's like Brian Winters without the defense. He's absolutely elite. So he's going to A tier. Then we have got Kerry Kittles. Man, Kittles is going S tier as well. Kittles is ridiculous. He is absolutely ridiculous. No range extender is his only flaw. Bronze clamps, again, bronze clamps this year feels like gold clamps last year at the end of the year. He can play a little bit of defense. Again, is a borderline Dan Marley level sniper. Release is fantastic. Man, Kerry Kittles is S. Mark Jackson is not terrible. He's going D. Is he? I might move him up, but I actually don't mind. I don't mind Mark Jackson. I really don't. Johnny Moore, D. Very similar to Mark Jackson. Moore's got pretty good speed. He's an average shooter, but he doesn't go quick first step, which helps. Kenny Skywalker. Okay, where do I want to put Kenny Walker? I'm just saying his Ruby card last year was so nice for the time it came out. At the time when that Ruby card came out, man, he had clamps, he could dunk, he could run. I think it was All-Star Weekend, he was fantastic, but not really the defender he was last year. But he can shoot a little bit. He's like a way better version of Jamario Moon. So for that reason, I'll put him C. I don't think he's higher than that. Rashard Lewis, pre-stick patch B, post-stick patch, or pre-stick patch A, post-stick patch B. His release is just almost too fast to time the button. He's got, I'm not sure what the set shot is. I could be wrong with saying set shot 4, but it is, I'm pretty sure, the fastest catch and shoot release in the game, along with base 38. And we got Lambier, pre-stick patch S, post-stick patch A. Bill Lambier is a not great shooter anymore. He was a sniper. He did not miss with the stick. Because, I don't know what it was. He hit everything. He hit everything. Now, his release is nearly impossible to time with the button. But, one of the best defensive post players in the game was Silver Clamp, so I can't put him outside of A tier. This is a tough one as well. I'm going to put Rick Smits in S tier, and I'm going to give my logic here. I would not use Rick Smits. I never use Rick Smits. I don't. Like, I will play. Again, I play Draymond Green and Giannis at center more than anything. I don't play with a center. If my center can't take... After last year, the fact that I used to use Dino as like a primary ball handler, I used to tween up and down the floor with Eddie Curry to end the year. I literally use point centers. If my center can't take the ball up the floor, they're not using... If all 5 players can't take the ball up the floor, then they're not going into my team. But I got to take into account that Rick Smits is a really good card. He is a really, really good card. Like, objectively, he's easy to use. He gets offensive boards. He will hit mid-range shots well. For most people, if you have any sort of post-game he can dominate, for most people, he's going to be a great, great card. So I'm going to put him in S tier. Mike Bibby. Man, I really like Mike Bibby, but I'm going to put him in B. If he had even, like, silver range, he'd be up here in A, because his release is so nice. Like, I'm telling you. If they come out with packs, they won't put him in promo packs soon. But if they come out in, like, right before 250k qualifiers, in, like, 2 weeks, and they release an Amethyst Mike Bibby with, say, gold range, you better believe he's coming in... You better believe I'm not even being fussed about getting the pink diamond Steph Curry because of how good that Mike Bibby is going to be. A card would be ridiculous. But no defense, but an elite shooter from mid and from 3. And we got Gus. I mean, I would never use Gus in Unlimited. Yeah, he can beat bad players, but I love playing Gus in Unlimited and just sitting back in the paint. Mid-range shot's really good, though. I will admit that his mid-range is really good. Defense is horrendous. It is horrendous. As Ty would say, the dude cannot guard a tree. But, man, he's so fast. He's so fast. The fact that glitching the AI isn't even as important as he used to be, but he's still so fast. Then we got Zebo. Zebo's D. Doesn't do anything. He would be you could argue worthless, but I'm going to put him in D. Bill Walton, D tier as well. Bill Walton's post game, though. Man, I played against some guy running Bill Walton who knew how to play in the post. I got eaten alive. So for that reason, I might put him in C. I mean, I would never use Bill Walton in a million years. I hate the card. I loved Bill Walton last year. Of course I loved Bill Walton last year. Everyone loved Bill Walton last year because he was a 7-foot tall point guard with insane 6 and an insane release. But this year, Bill Walton is that little bit different. But man, just that one game when I played against a dude in TTO who knew how to use him in the post and just scored every single time on me, I'm going to have to put him in C tier. So if you know how to use him, he's good. Tony Allen, pre-stick patch, you'd be looking at A tier for Tony Allen. He is so bad on offense that I'm putting him in C tier. I'm moving him down 2 tiers because due to a stick patch, because he can actually green pre-stick patch. He could green because, again, you basically just need a 60 rating and to be really good at using the stick, and now it's almost impossible to green with him, and he's not going to be hitting many wides with his low rating. But at the end of the day, still a lockdown defender. But for me, I would take offense over defense. I would take good offense and horrendous defense over horrendous offense and good defense. So that's why Tony Allen's here in C tier. Ray Allen, A. You might be wondering, like, what separates Ray Allen and Kerry Kittles? Simple answer. Clamps. That is the only thing that separates Ray Allen and Kerry Kittles. Ray Allen is the better shooter. Ray Allen cannot guard anybody. And that's what puts Dan Marley down here in A tier. I take Ray Allen over Dan Marley because Ray Allen has got range extender. The difference is, though, is that you're looking at silver clamps, bronze clamps. The ability to not get blown by every possession is a huge liability. And yeah, you probably will be able to get away running a Ray Allen. Heck, I'm able to get away with using a World B free at a lot of the games that I play. The problem is that when you play against someone who exposes that, you're going to struggle. You're going to really struggle once you play against someone that exposes the fact that you've got a non-clamps player. Especially if you do, like if you come up against me and you run Ray Allen, there is not one player on my team that you'll be able to guard with your Ray Allen. And I will just run by you the entire game. So I just have to take that into account. While yes, at his best in a perfect scenario against a perfect opponent, Ray Allen's S tier. However, as more and more people figure out how to just abuse the lack of clamps, Ray Allen's lack of clamps will come back to hurt him. Rip Hamilton, I'd be tempted to put him down in B tier. Like he's not money. Like as Stephen A. Smith would say, he's not money like Dan Marley. He's not money like he doesn't have range like Ray Allen. He doesn't have speed like the others. But he's good. Does he go? Question is he in the very good shooter range or the sniper range? I'm going to put him in the very good shooter. I don't think he's quite a sniper like Dan Marley or Ray Allen. And doesn't have range like Dame. Then we got Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith's going A. Kenny Smith's class, lads. He's class. He's got a handle. He's got... sorry, no, he doesn't have a handle, but he's got the ability to blow by people. He's got a dunk, and he's got a 3-ball with a super fast release. So he's going A. Andre Iguodala, B tier. Andre Iguodala is upper end of B. Defensively, he's quality. He's just bad on offense. No, I'm going to move him into A. I don't like his offense, but he's defensively so nice. And he's nowhere near as bad as Tony Allen. Like, Tony Allen and Andre Iguodala similar enough defensively, night and day offensively, difference between the two of them. Then we've got Paddy Mills. Paddy Mills is going into... He's going A. He'd be on kind of lower tier of A. The more I use Paddy Mills, the more I prefer someone like a Dame. But at the end of the day, they are kind of in the same tier. Dame, Paddy Mills, and Kenny Smith, I think, are all in the same tier. Then we've got Robert Reed. And Robert Reed's not good. He's C. C, and that's a generous C tier. He's not a good card. Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers... do I put him up in S? I'm a big fan of Doc Rivers. Okay shooter. But man, his handles are nice, and he's a good defender and good passer. I don't think he's quite good enough on offense to put him in A tier. Or in S tier. Like, that's a tough one. That is a tough one with Doc Rivers, because I do really like the card. Like, he was a new card that came out, but an 83 ball, I don't know, but he's got no shooting badges. I think with his playmaking badges and the fact that he's out here with bronze clamps and some decent defensive badges, as well as a great steal rating, I'm putting Doc Rivers in S tier. I think I would use him more over Lillard in a competitive setting. Then Brian Scalabrine. Scal's nice. I'm going to say it right now. Scal is a nice card. Could you argue that Brian Scalabrine is S tier? Because I think it's just kind of a given that he's at least A tier. Dude comes with bronze clamps and basically all the shooting badges except range. I think you can make that argument, especially because we have not got a power forward here. I'm going to put him up here. If we had a power forward, basically we've got a point guard now in Doc Rivers, and we've got a power forward in Scalabrine, and we've got a center as well as all of our 2/3s. So I'm going to put him there. Kyle Lowry. I know. Kyle Lowry S. Doc Rivers go to A. I've just realized I've not been showing it on screen. We had Scal in S. I'm going to put Kyle Lowry in S tier and Doc Rivers in A. I thought Doc Rivers I would probably go with him over these point guards. I want to put one point guard up here, but I completely forgot we still have Kyle Lowry left. Kyle Lowry is quality, lads. Kyle Lowry has got a great jumper. He's a great defender. Just an overall great card. Norm Nixon, B. He's fine. He's fine. I mean, I don't know, C. There's no other way to describe him. Tony Kukoc, B. Tony Kukoc would have been S or A, but man, his release sucks at the button. I'm sorry, it does. For me, I can't agree. I cannot time release with him to save my life. And despite having hot zones everywhere, for some reason, he cannot green from anywhere for me. Or hit a white. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. The music kind of cut out, so I'm just going to end it there. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.